welcome back to Kings of the Bridge. We are back, guys. I hope you're all well. Big up every single one of you that are currently here right now. Do me a favor, please. Make sure you're smashing them likes. We've got over 40 people here already. Ran it up, please. Please run it up. We've got so much to talk about today. Sorry I was a little bit late. It was on the phone as well. But obviously, we've got a lot to get into, lots to talk about. We're going to be talking about the whole Enzo Fernandez, whatever you want to call it, saga, bullshit, whatever you want to use as the words. We'll be talking about that first. We've got to talk about Garnacho. We've got to talk about Chalobah, the Xhaka update, the Santos news, I think maybe the centre backs as well. There's loads of bits and bobs to get through, of course, which we'll be doing very, very shortly as well. But yeah, guys, how are we all doing? Good to see every single one of you. I know it's an early live again. We will get back to doing later lives, 4, 5, 6 o'clock moving forward. But I thought I'd jump on today whilst I have the time because I might be out later on seeing CFC Piz, because he's on his way back to home. Well, he'll be back on home on his flight tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to try and see him before he goes if I can. I am sweating today, absolutely sweating. Not gonna lie. Yes, Conboy, what you saying, bro? Says, what have I woken up to? Lots going on. Real Madrid have put out a statement confirming that they will not be signing Enzo Fernandez on the back of the Pastore interviews yesterday, talking about the potentials of Real Madrid talking to him and him being interested. He also mentioned other clubs. We're going to quickly just highlight the Enzo Fernandez stuff and go through it all here. And then we're going to move on to like transfer news and talk about Chalobah. We've got some updates on Chalobah. We've got some updates on Xhaka. We've got some updates on Santos. We've got some updates on... Who else? I feel like I'm missing. It's quite Garnacho as well. We're talking about Garnacho as well. But how's everyone in the chat? Anyway, big up ads. What you saying, my boy? Good to see you, man. Hope you're all well. Pastore should get the sack. We're going to get into that in a second. Obviously, we're just slowly building up the live right now as well. So, guys, please do me a favor. Make sure that you're smashing the like buttons. Share it out as well on the socials. We are live on Twitter as well. If you guys are over on Twitter, how many we got on over there? I can't even see. We've got over 25 people on Twitter as well. Good to see you guys as well. Hope you're all well over there. It's good to see everyone here. That's what everyone's saying. Hammond, what you saying? I beg Enzo to come out and say sorry. Well, we're going to get into it. Carly, how are you? Good to see you as well. Rogue says, Vamos, Enzo! Oh, it made me laugh, man. Make me laugh. Gtinho, what you saying, my boy? Toby, good to see you, my boy, as well. Who else have we got here? Cookie. Who else have we got here that I haven't said hello to start with? Hammond. Daniel, what you saying, bro? Jimzino as the register. Listen, mate. Put Enzo Fernandez on the bench. Put me next to Caicedo. I will conduct the game for about 10 minutes. And then we bring Enzo on. And then we'll take Enzo off and put me on. And then we just keep switching. How about that? Would that make you happy? Gem as a conductor in the middle. Do you know what I mean? Playing balls over the top with my left foot. You know what I mean? The only problem is I'm not playing balls over to Garnacho. Do you know what I mean? Don't ask me to play balls over to Garnacho because that's not happening, man. That's not happening. That's all I'm going to say. I'll be going the other way. Esteval, go Esteval, run. Play balls over to you. Run. He can't run. I can't. My ankle's fucked. I'd probably pull my ankle in about 10 seconds. You know what I mean? Which is not ideal. It is. It feels like it. But again, you know, there's a lot that we need to like cover on it. And I know everyone has different feelings to it. Some are maybe more emotional than others to it. Others maybe not as emotional to it. And I think it's worth just talking about it from all angles. You can be good as a corner flag. Cheers, mate. You need to own a club. Honestly, I would run this club like, mwah. Honestly, I was talking to my missus earlier about it, and she was like, you'd be a good scout, man. You'd be a good scout. You'd be good at like attracting players, like finding good players for them. You'd be good at maybe coaching as well, tactics. You know what I mean? Get me involved with Chelsea. Get me involved with the Chelsea, man. Just discovered the channel. New subscriber. Dimitri, good to see you, man. Welcome to Kings of the Bridge, man. Please make sure you're subscribing. Obviously, you're new here, so I appreciate you as well. Thank you for popping over. Gemma's winger is better than Garnacho, most probably. Yeah. Over 50 of you guys here. Big up, man. Good to see you. Right, let's talk about what happened this morning because it was quite. I think personally, it's quite funny. You know, like forgetting whether you like him or dislike Enzo Fernandez, this could happen to any player. But for me, I think the whole thing's hilarious. We got a statement from, well, it was from Real Madrid, but obviously translated by Fabrizio Romano, talking about Enzo Fernandez. And it goes on to say that Real Madrid confirmed zero talks to sign Enzo Fernandez in light of the reports and statements that have appeared in recent days regarding Real Madrid's alleged interest in the player Enzo Fernandez. The club wishes to state that it has not made any efforts, either directly or indirectly, to sign the aforementioned player, and furthermore has no intention of undertaking such transfer. Real Madrid wishes to express its utmost respect for Enzo Fernandez, a great footballer whose career and quality are widely recognised, as well as for Chelsea FC, a club which maintains an excellent institutional relationship. And as we know, Real Madrid and Chelsea's relationship is meant to be top-notch, supposedly. It then goes on to say that precisely out of the respect for an institution like Chelsea FC, and I think that's the big thing for me here, this bit here, and I'll allude on to why I think this as well in the later minutes. And due to the principles of institutional loyalty that have always guided Real Madrid's actions, the club considers it necessary to categorically deny these unfounded speculations, which are completely untrue. Real Madrid regrets that despite the clarity of the fact and the lack of any action on the part of the club, information continues to be disseminated that does not correspond to reality, and that only contributes to generating confusion among fans and unnecessary harming the entitles and people involved. I think that's a fair part to say at the end, which I'm going to get onto something else because I have to say it. I think it's very important. And listen, I'm not saying you guys can't be angry with Enzo or you can't be angry with Pastore or whoever it is, however you feel and whatever. But I think a lot of it is very media manipulated driven as well. And I'm going to refer to that later. But I want to talk about all of this. Before we get to that, I just find it funny because someone put out a comment. And I saw another one as well about how Real Madrid said this before, and they brought out this statement talking about, what's this? We have posted something on this subset about Enzo. Seems like he's still adamant he's going to get the move. Oh, yeah, anyway. This right here, the official statement here saying that given the information recently issued and published by different media in which there is a speculation about alleged negotiations between Kylian Mbappe and our club, Real Madrid wants to state the information is categorically false and such negotiations have not taken place with a player who belongs to PSG. So people will say that they've got this like version about them where they have come out with statements in the past. I remember the one with David Beckham as well, where they come out and said that they had no interest in David Beckham and they had no interest in Cristiano Ronaldo at one point as well. And it ended up getting done as well. Do you know what I mean? However, going back to the whole statement, where do we stand with it? How do we feel about it? Over 60 of you here. Big up, guys. Good to see you all in here. My thoughts and feelings is very simple. I've been saying for a very long time to you guys how I feel about, before all this come out, how I feel about where I stand with the Enzo stuff. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've always taken it as a pinch of salt, as you already know. Lots of media news coming out about an interest from Enzo Fernandez to Real Madrid, whether that's through his agent, through him, whatever. You know, it was always going to be irrelevant to me. Every day for the last months, all we've heard is Enzo Real Madrid, Enzo Real Madrid, Enzo Real Madrid, right? I've always said that taking the emotions out of it, whether you dislike or like the player, the only way it can happen is if Chelsea get the valuation they want for the player. And in that case, I think then they sell the player. I think the player then gets sold and he goes, right? I still believe to this day, and I feel the same about this whole situation when it comes to Enzo Fernandez, that until someone logically comes forward with the money and lays it on the table, then there's no reason why we should be sitting here picking on bits of every news. Now, if you're new to media, if you're new to Twitter and you're seeing this every day, I can get why it can be a little bit draining. It can be a little bit daunting. It can annoy you about the player. It can do this. It can do that. I understand all of that. Like, I get that to a degree. When this yesterday, Pastore come out with his interview and he categorically said that there's interest from other clubs and that Real Madrid have spoken to Enzo and Enzo had supposedly spoken to Real Madrid and they both liked each other, right? The overarching reaction to, sorry, my phone's getting crazy as well. The overarching reaction to the news was of that, again, he's trying to force a move. Some people were saying it's Enzo's fault. Some people were saying Pastore's a fucking idiot, blah, 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 blah. Then Real Madrid bring out this statement today, right? Pretty much categorically squashing what Pastore's said. Now, if Enzo Fernandez's idea is to leave the club and he was trying to use this momentum through Pastore to try and get himself out the door, right? The first thing he should be doing today, once he wakes up and he hears this news in America, is calling Pastore and saying to him, in my opinion, you have failed, firstly. You have failed by going to get me the deal that was required. You have not only done that, you've also now put me in the limelight and now going to cause me slight issues with maybe the fan base, the media. You need to be sacked. And I do believe that Pastore needs to be sacked purely on the basis from a professional level. He hasn't done his job. He just hasn't done the job that he's needed to do at the end of the day. And for Enzo Fernandez, if I'm Enzo Fernandez now, and I was kind of like obviously in it saying, yeah, you know, talk to this person, talk to that person, and then it backfired like it did. The smart move right now, and this is again just the logic of it, is to just blame your agent and sack him. Go back to Chelsea, try and get an agreement, which again Pastore mentioned yesterday. They had a first initial conversation with Chelsea. Chelsea said they weren't willing to give him the money that whatever that money increase was. They said no. They then said, we're going back after the World Cup to sit in front of Chelsea to talk to them about an increase in wages for Enzo Fernandez. And then we will decide after that what we do, club to clubs, whatever, right? So there's always this next discussion with Chelsea where Enzo's got to sit down and he's got to decide whether he bites the bullet on whatever that figure is or they come to a negotiation agreement, right? But the big point of it stands for me. Unless the money comes in, he ain't going anywhere. And that's been the case since day dot, guys. Relevance, you want him gone, whether you think he's this, whether you love him, whether you hate him. Until the money lays down, until a club is serious enough to come in and actually put the money in, everything else is irrelevant to me. That's why I've really not paid much attention to it. But this happening has made a mockery of Pastore and made a mockery of Enzo Fernandez. And if I'm Enzo Fernandez now, yeah, because they both look like idiots, yeah, I would be sacking my agent. I would be getting on with what I'm doing at Argentina. I'd be going back to Chelsea. I'd be negotiating a deal. And then I may come out and just pretty much throw my agent under the bus slightly. Or, you know, action speaks louder than words. He sacked his agent. He signs a new contract. You could kind of sit there and say, yeah, you know, he's done. His mindset's pretty clear, right? He gets back on the pitch. He lets his football do the talking and he gets on with it. I don't see outside of Real Madrid where he goes. And that's my question to you guys. Where does he go? Where else does Enzo Fernandez go outside of Real Madrid? I know some people have mentioned Arsenal, but Arsenal put 60 million in for Bruno Guimaraes. I don't see them doing that for Enzo Fernandez. I just don't see it. Do you know what I mean? PSG, good shout, Nono, potentially. But they would, again, need to sell a player. Maybe a Fabian Ruiz moves on and they put him in there with Vitinha and João Neves. Maybe one option, right? Point being is that he hasn't got the options. He hasn't got the options he thinks he's got. And the mad thing on all of it, still to this day, is irrelevant to all of the Pastore comments and whatever. He still hasn't categorically come out and said, I want to leave Chelsea, even though he's been doing it like in the way of, I want to live in Madrid one day. It reminds me of Buenos Aires. Maybe using Pastore to talk in some interviews while he's at the World Cup. It's like he needs to sort this shit out. Like he needs to now take control of the situation and go, right, I need to take control of it. And the first thing you should do is get rid of Pastore. Because at the end of the day, Pastore has not done his job. He has failed at his job in regards to finding a contract for Enzo Fernandez, right? Why I think Real Madrid will not go backwards on it, and I know people saying look at the other situations, is because of the comment that they put in here in the statement. And it says here, where was it? Real Madrid wishes to express their utmost as well as for Chelsea, the club, it maintains an excellent institutional relationship, precisely out of respect for an institutional like Chelsea and due to the principles of institutional loyalty that have always been guided from Real Madrid's actions. My point is this: they've come out, they've kind of like dug themselves into this. There's no way in hell that Real Madrid now go back on themselves and go and sign Enzo Fernandez. There's no way that I feel that Chelsea come down from that price. Does he, when he come back from the World Cup, push for a transfer request? Why would he push for a transfer request if there's no interest? Think of it like that. Even if you do want to leave, even if it is in his mind to leave Chelsea, why would you push for a transfer request when categorically the club that you want to go to has just turned around and said they're not interested? I just like, do you get what I mean? So it's like, I don't think Real Madrid are going to burn bridges with Chelsea because they have a great relationship. I don't see it being a last minute case of them going, here goes 120 million, we were lying, or here goes 100 million, we want him now, we've decided we want him. You know, you've got to look at Real Madrid as a club at the moment where they are as well. They've got so much going on in and around them. They've got players to get rid of themselves. Look at all the players they've brought in. Bernardo Silva, they've still got Arda Güler, they've still got Jude Bellingham, they've still got Tchouaméni, they've still got Camavinga, like Valverde. The list goes on and on and on. Like, logically, it makes no sense. And this is why I've been saying it on here. Until someone lays the money down this series, until Real Madrid starts selling players, everything else is irrelevant to me when it comes to Enzo Fernandez. And it is second-hand embarrassment. It is. He looks stupid. They both look dumb as fuck, right? Relevant to either Enzo telling him to go out and have these talks in front of the interviews, or if he just decided himself, Pastore, to just go and maybe put some pressure. Maybe thinking it will be a good idea mentioning Real Madrid's name. Oh, Real Madrid has spoken to Enzo and Enzo's spoken to them and they both like each other. And yeah, and there's also some other clubs, but we're going to go and talk to Chelsea first. Let's go and talk to Chelsea. And then if we don't negotiate a wage, then we're going to look at the club options. Well, you've just fucking burnt it, Pastore. You have destroyed any opportunity of this guy getting what he wants. Absolute shit agent. What a shit agent. Just on them principles, forget everything else from a business standpoint. That is shocking from him. And yes, it might have come from Enzo as well, and Enzo might have like been on his side for it. But now it's like you've burnt the bridge by that interview because you made Real Madrid come out with that statement. From a job perspective, how are you going to get me as the footballer the deal that I wanted now? You've gone and done that, and now we fucking can't go anywhere. I'm going to have to just stay at Chelsea, which is probably going to be the case anyway. The problem is we don't really know where Enzo's mindset really is with this all. Kind of destroyed any chance of Enzo pay rise as well. Yeah, exactly, to a degree. And this is where it goes to me next. This is where I want to go to next with it all, right? Nearly 80 of you guys here. Big up, guys. I appreciate you all being here as well. This is where I want to go next with it. And this is a part of the problem as well, right? Forget Enzo and Pastore right now. This is not me not trying to blame him. We spoke about that. I want to talk about the media for a second, right? Because the same people here, right, and now saying this on the back of a statement that comes from Real Madrid. These are the same media, and I'm not just talking about specifically Nizar Kinsella. There's a couple of them, right? These are the same media that have been coming down, forcing it down in Chelsea fans' minds, forcing it in our minds that Enzo Fernandez wants to leave and he's going to go Real Madrid and there's going to be discussions and there's going to be a deal and they're already talking and there's already this and there's already that. And because Real Madrid have brought out what they've said, this is the next statement we're starting to see. Chelsea have not received any club-to-club approach from Real Madrid. The Blues have placed a 120 million valuation on the midfielder should serious interest materialise, but they are not actively looking to sell and would be happy retaining him as a key player under Xabi Alonso. Chelsea's position on Fernandes has remained clear and constant throughout. So all of this noise that's come from the media about him wanting to go, him wanting this, him wanting that, him, has all led to now journos coming out with this comment because they can't use Enzo and Real Madrid anymore. Enzo to Real Madrid will happen at some point. The talks are going to happen. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. Now we're getting these responses. Sources remain relaxed on the situation. Club position remains and has been all along that no club-to-club talks have taken place. Enzo Fernandez remains a valued member of the Chelsea squad, and only 120 million will prize him away from Stamford Bridge. Did you get what I mean? And this is why I call media manipulation. I keep telling people about this. This is what annoys me even more, because it puts the seed in, especially online, Chelsea fans online's brains, that all he wants to do is go. After a while, you're like, just fuck off. Get out of here, man. I don't want to see the same news. Leave. I've had enough. But now, Real Madrid have come out and said what they've said. It's all now, Chelsea value him. Xabi Alonso thinks he's key. Xabi Alonso's already spoken to him. Unless Chelsea get 120 million, he's going to be a key part of Xabi Alonso's fucking team. Why are we hearing this now? Why was this not something that was brought up earlier on instead of just Enzo to Real Madrid? Enzo to Real Madrid. If I sat here now and wrote Enzo to Real Madrid in the search bar, I guarantee we would have all of them saying they got talks soon. This one, he's talking to that one. This is happening, that's happening. This is what I'm saying to you guys. And this is why I pulled myself away from it. Because every day I kept seeing Enzo to Real Madrid, I was waiting for the tweet or the more serious tweet around Real Madrid are very interested in Enzo Fernandez and I'm willing to pay up to 110 million. We never had any of that. All we had, Real Madrid are interested in Enzo. Enzo wants Real Madrid. They're talking soon. They're already talking. They're already doing this. They're already doing that. And it's just the same shit. It's what I call the media manipulation. And I just think it's wrong. This is another part, aside of Enzo and all the shit that we just spoke about. That's that part. This is the other part of media that listen, I know they've got jobs and they're only trying to do their jobs and they're trying to scamper information and everything. I understand it. But I find it blimmin' annoying because now it's like, what are you all saying? You're all saying he's going to fucking Real Madrid. And now all of a sudden, they bring out a statement and you're all saying Alonso thinks he's key. Chelsea think he's an important player. They're not going to entertain anything unless it's 120 mil. Like, what the fuck are we dealing with here? Do you see what I mean? And then on top of all of that, this is what was funny, but even more funnier. Where is it? This Kinsella again, on the back of the statement of Enzo leaving this club, comes out, and I am kind of pointing at Nizar Kinsella because he's the only one that's done this tweet, comes out and then goes on about this. This is the next thing that ended up coming out on the back of Real Madrid not going for Enzo, because now they can't use it. They can't keep saying Enzo and Real Madrid, right? This is the next part of it. Chelsea midfield Andrew Santos may leave this summer. The Brazilian 22 is not ruling out an exit. Neither are his clubs, but he's highly respected and not being pushed out. Lack of Europe, Xhaka, Fernandez, and the premium non-sick market all factor in. And then he goes on to say, my view is only really like Andrew Santos, and I think he'll be very good midfielder in the future. I did think he'd struggle in the Premier League level games. Then he performed in the Chelsea last season. He needs to be a bit of time and patience to develop, blah, 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 blah. But it's like it's now moving on to the next thing. They're now moving on to the next thing because they can't keep talking about Enzo and Real Madrid. So now they've got to find another midfielder in our team that now supposedly could get sold. Like, what are you waffling about? And this is why I don't play the games. I don't get as emotional about it. Because for me, it's very logical. As they just said, he's 120 million pounds. That's what it was quoted. If anyone is serious and we get that tweet that a club's actually going to do it, then fine. Then we can conclude that he's going to leave. But prior to all of that, between Pastore and Enzo with the bullshit they're running around and doing, or, through this window, to the media just constantly making it like as if Real Madrid and Enzo Fernandez are talking. Like, why are we... Do you know what I mean? Why are we where we are? Why are we taking this all in? Do you know what I mean, though, bro? Like, does anyone understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to give you another logical element to it. And it's not just about me not talking about Enzo and Pastore because we've just done that. It's how it was built up in the first place. It's how it's like every day the same fucking thing. It was the most annoying. This whole Enzo thing's been so fucking annoying. Even I've even just been like, all right, if you're serious, just go. Like, someone come and just put the money down. I've had enough. I want to just get on with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just frustrating. It's so frustrating. Stick your time and patience up your ass. But do you know what I mean, guys? Like, it's just there's just two sides to it all for me. It's the whole Pastore thing. He needs to get sacked. Enzo needs to kind of bite the bullet now. Fucking sign a contract. I don't see who else is going to come in and spend 120 mil. Some people say PSG. Others say Arsenal. I don't see him going anywhere now. If this is Real Madrid sticking by their word. If Real Madrid stick by their word now, he ain't going anywhere, in my opinion. So he's now got to go back to Chelsea, get an agreement on whatever that wage is if he agrees, whatever, and a new contract. He's got to put his head down with Xabi Alonso, and he's got to get on with it. And maybe we get a little interview for him talking about, you know, whatever. I'm sorry, you know, this is what happened. This is what I would do. This is exactly what I would do. I would sack Pastore. I'd get on with Argentina. I would sign a contract for Chelsea, and then I'd do a little interview just saying I was over at the World Cup, playing for Argentina, not paying no attention to the media or the news. I've not once mentioned that I wanted to leave Chelsea. Then we were going to talk about it after the World Cup. I had no incline about what's going on. I saw the interview with my agent and what happened, and in the comments after from Real Madrid, and I can see how it makes me look. This is why I've made the decision to sack, you know, my agent, because I understand, like, it's the wrong thing, but I have now categorically agreed. I've categorically agreed a contract with Chelsea, and I'm now going to put my head down and get on and continue playing for this club. Like, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. If there's no interest, this is the only thing you can do. Do you know what I mean? Like, get on with it. Even if he doesn't come out with a comment, at least show the action. Like, get rid of your agent. He's a fucking idiot. Always felt if Enzo's still crying Saudi, coming with it. He's not going Saudi. He won't be going anywhere. I'm telling you now, if it's not Real Madrid. PSG, can anyone see City coming in and spending that money? Truly? I don't think so. I don't think you're going to see PSG spending that kind of money. He ain't going nowhere. But I'm not shocked that he isn't. Am I kind of annoyed that he ain't going? No, because from a player standpoint, you know what I think of him. I think he'd be very useful in this team. As long as he gets his head down and he gets on with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, get on with it. But with all the shit that's gone on, he's dug his hole with Pastore. He looks like an idiot. He now needs to fucking sort it out. Sack your fucking agent. He's destroyed any chance of you getting 120 million. Let's just say it. Yeah. Go back to Chelsea. No one's going to pay 120 mil by the looks of it at this point. Maybe something's changed, but at this point, I don't see it. Go and get your fucking contract and move on. Like, that's what I would do. I knew you guys are going to make a comment about me and Enzo at some point. Listen, there's nearly 100 of you here, guys. Big up to everyone who's here. I don't really want to talk much more about it because it's just soul draining, but it's been so soul draining up to this point. Anyway, I want to talk about actual news, like how we improving this fucking squad. Do you know what I mean? What are we doing next? What are the plans? And what's the aim next for Chelsea anyway? We need the money, Saudi money. It's like his agent forgot Enzo still has that 6 year. Yeah, exactly. He's still got a 6-year blimmin' contract. You know what I mean? Like, Chelsea hold all the cards in all of this. Let's be serious. They do. They generally hold all the cards after everything. Enzo will go. Real Madrid ain't paying him 20 mil. Real Madrid ain't paying for that for him. Where's he going, Joey? That's my thing. Like, if he's not going Real Madrid, who's going to pay it? Like, Enzo Saga, March 2026 to July 2026. Just want to move past it. I'm not going to lie. There's a concern over the Xhaka deal between the club and Alonso already. Yeah, I heard that as well. Listen, I love having a laugh with you guys either way. You know, whether you dislike or like him, we always at least share good opinions over here as always, man. So big up to all of you guys. I want the quad. Look, that's the one for me. If we're talking about fucking throwing that Enzo shit away, let's see what happens later on, because I'm sure we're going to get another saga on the back of that. I want to see what happens next. Let's move away from that and let's talk about how we're going to blimmin' improve this squad right now and what are we doing next with everything else. Because in my opinion, Lacroix should be the first fucking player through the door. If I'm Chelsea and looking at priorities, My opinion is that defenders are the most important thing right now. And a player like Lacroix at his level should be brought through the door, man. Bring him in. Do you know what I mean? I would love him to stay. I think he might be Enzo next season, Joey. I think he might. I think that might be the conclusion. We'll see. Xhaka and Lacroix news. Yeah. You know, we probably still might be getting Xhaka. We might not be getting Xhaka. Who bloody knows? But let's get into it. The whole Santos thing, by the way, can I ask you guys quickly before we move? Who thinks Santos is getting sold, generally? It's just ironic, isn't it? On the back of Enzo, and the Enzo news, we get, Santos, you know, Chelsea might sell him. Who do you think Santos is going here? Daily, Gem. Who do you think Santos is going? Daily. Daily. Oh, I've got a headache. I think I'm so hot today. Okay. So the Athletic have brought out some updates for us, guys. Let's have a quick look at this before we go on to some transfer news from Daily. So it says here, the sources say the decision to hire Alonso was welcomed warmly by the squad members from the outset. So everyone at Chelsea from a player outset is very happy that Xabi Alonso's coming in. But then we had this update. Sources say that Palmer is already feeling good after doing some training ahead of pre-season. Listen, that's great news. I'm red. I'm hot. I'm really, really hot, Benji. I'm not going to lie, mate. I'm so hot right now. When are we going to get a bomb? I know. When are we going to get? I thought Santos was going to get sold regardless what happens to Enzo. Do you think, GT? It's interesting you say that as well. Bayern Munich. Really? You think Bayern Munich, guys? I'm fucking sweating, innit? I'm sweating. Yeah, so do I, but that's good news, isn't it? That's good news on Cole Palmer. Obviously, we've still got all this transfer news to go through for today as well. Is there anything else that come out? All right, cool. Well, anyway, that's good. It's good to know that they're on the side of him anyway. Right. Putting all the Enzo Fernandez shit aside. By the way, no, forget that. Let's move on from that. Let's talk about this guy. I'm sure this is going to make you all very happy in the chat. Yeah. What about this one? Roma have reportedly inquired, and this comes from Alfredo Pasta. He says Roma have reportedly made inquiries regarding Chelsea's Alejandro Garnacho. I mean, what are we saying? What are we saying, guys? Garnacho out the door? Oh, are we about it? Oh, Roma, save us. Let me just quickly see if any of the boys want to join as well. I've not put the link in the chat. Let me just quickly do it. There we go. Put the link in the chat for the boys. I'm sure Benji will join. Yeah, what do you think about the Garnacho news? God is good. Benji, I'll put the link in. Someone please tell Felix Jones that his club he supports have some world-class players that we no longer want. Fabregas, absolutely. Toby. First transfer in history where we pay for a player to be taken. I saw someone tweeting about how he's worth like 60 mil. We're selling our Con. Con's leaving us, man. Fucking hell, Con. If you're still here, mate. That's hilarious. These lot are on cooking today. Cooking season today. Yeah, listen, you ain't got to tell me twice. I don't really have much to say about it. Get rid of him. Get him out the door. Sell him. How much are we even getting for Garnacho? Can someone tell me? What is his market value? We spent 40 million on him. I don't see Chelsea selling him for much less. I think we're going to demand 40 mil. I think we're going to demand 40 mil, which is probably going to kick out the Italian clubs because Italian clubs are broke as hell. So how the hell are we going to be able to get the money that we need on that? Guys over on Twitter, let's go and see who's on over there. We have 70 people over on Twitter. Good to see you guys. How are you, man? Got nearly 200 people in total on both channels. Guys, over on Twitter, give us a follow on Kings of the Bridge as well. Come over on YouTube, Kings of the Bridge TV. Subscribe and come and say hello in the chat as well. If you're watching us over there, big up to you guys as well. So we've got 70 over there. We've got 80 here. Let's fucking go. Let's go. I will drive him to the airport, pay someone to take him. GT, Con, he's here as well. He heard you, man. He heard you. He heard you. Love you, really, Con. Yeah, I think he goes for about 40 mil personally. 45 mil, yeah. Big up, Bobby. What you saying, bro? Good to see you, man. What are you saying, bro? This big one, I go. Listen, I think anything around 40, 30 to 40 mil, get him out the door. And whatever money we get anyway is going towards a fucking, hopefully, a decent left forward. We need a fucking winger. What winger it is, I don't know. But we need a winger. We need a winger in the door. In, out, shake it all about. The big one I want gone as soon as possible is the lap, to be honest. He has to go. Do you want the lap gone? Yeah. How much do you want the lap gone for? GT, yeah. How much do you want the lap gone for? Garnacho to Roma, don't tease me. I know, exactly. Well, Alfredo Pasta seems to think it might happen. So fingers crossed, man. Garnacho can piss off. Get out my club. Let's go and look at Trev, because Trev's also another one which is actually heating up, guys. I think we're going to get a here we go soon with this. I can feel it. This could be the next here we go. Trevor Chalobah's agents are in Milan, talking underway with Inter over personal terms. Como have been in the race for weeks, but Inter are now on it as well, as revealed in June. Chalobah wants to play in Italy, and that's the big thing for me. It's the fact that he's happy to go Italy. We have priced him at £35 million. We've priced him at £35 million, which I don't think is bad. Carlito's timing is just unbelievable. I'm not going to lie. God is good. Chalobah out. He's hated Chalobah from the beginning, man. He has hated him from the beginning. Yeah, sell the fraud. Jen, we need a final Alejandro. Yeah, we will. If he gets sold, I promise you now, I will play the Alejandro on my phone and we'll have a dance. We'll do a live here where we just dance it off. Alejandro. We'll get everyone in. It'll be a laugh. The lap goes for 32 million with add-ons. Good shout, Terry. Could be the case. Ryan, how you doing, bro? Good to see you. Called into, we're getting to that in a second. Don't worry, we got stuff to get into. Inter Milan will pay that money. Also, copyright. Nah, we'll be all right with the copyright. It's all good. I like Trev. Always have. He's not Chelsea's first team, but good luck to him. Fuck that. Do not give Carlito the Carlito, I can't give you the link, man. No, we will. Do you know what? We'll get I'm going to do a live and bring Carlito on at some point. Maybe not today, but we will bring Carlito. I'm going to talk to him backstage and we'll bring Carlito on because I want to hear his thoughts. I want to hear his thoughts as well. Benji, what are you saying, man?
What's going on, Alex?
Yeah, I'm good. What are we saying? Are you good?
All good. I just woke up not too long ago, to be honest. I'm in my PJs, as you can see. But yeah, we're here. We're here.
Yeah, you missed quite a lot there. Oh, Jesus Christ. You missed quite a lot, mate. Anyway, with the whole Enzo situation with Real Madrid and now the Chalobah with have you seen the Enzo stuff, yeah?
The statement from Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read a little bit, to be honest. I'm just very surprised that everybody's falling for it. I thought we had more IQ than that, but yeah, you can look at it from two different ways. You can definitely say it's PR. You can definitely say that, this Real Madrid wanna, calm down the noises in terms of Enzo doesn't really want to go to another club apart from Madrid. I think that is very clear from his agent. If I'm Enzo personally, I would sack that agent right now, and I would
Yeah, no, that's what we said.
no, I would
That's
sack
what we
him.
said.
If Enzo
Yeah,
really
no.
wanted a move, Jim, you go and get George Mendes. George Mendes will get you a move today if you really wanted to move.
Yeah, but I think it's been destroyed anyway. I think he has to sack him. I think he has to go back and buy the bullet on the contract and just get on with it. Like, it's my thing. Do you know what I mean? I don't see anyone
Yeah.
else that's going to spend that money. And I stick by that logic until someone, as categorically says, and I'm talking about a club, comes out and says, I've got the money for Enzo Fernandez. Everything else for me has just been irrelevant. I'll be quite honest with you. That's why I've not paid much attention to. I know you haven't as well about the whole Real Madrid Enzo. But anyway, going on to Chalobah. Looks like he's going to go to Milan, man. He said he wants to play in Italy. Fabrizio says we're looking for around 35 million. How much do you think we will get for him? And are you good with it? Are you good with Chalobah out the door?
He can leave today. he can actually leave today. I'm not gonna disrespect him. I've always been saying that Chalobah never should have been a starter for Chelsea Football Club. Now, it's been very unfortunate with the fact that we didn't help him or this squad in terms of we didn't bring level raises into this, starting back line. Like, for example, if you had a very solid CB, right, next to Levi Cole, if you really want to trust him, and then you have maybe Fofana and Trev as backups, I don't really think no one is complaining. But when you have Fofana as a starter who is injury prone, and then you have Trev that's gonna play more than 50% of the season just because Fofana can't stay fit, you're gonna have an issue because it's a quality issue that you have a CB, right? Like your best center back isn't really that great, and then it really goes down to Chalobah, who's really a mid-table center back at best. But I wish him all the best. Like you have to think about the memories we've been creating with him. He came out of nowhere into the Super Cup, if you remember, 2022. No, 2021. Yeah, 2021. We won the Super Cup against Sevilla. No, Villarreal. Sorry. And he just started at RCB, and I was thinking, who the fuck is this guy? And absolutely smashed it since then. So I'm very happy with Chalobah. I think Inter Milan is a very good move. He's gonna play alongside very, very good defenders. That other black kid, I can't remember his name. We wanted him not too long ago from Inter Milan. He plays RCB.
Yeah.
He just thought in my head, but yeah. And then you have Bastoni, for example. I know the allegations, but still a very good defender. If we just stick it to football, and then you're gonna have Trev. So yeah, it's a good move for him. Champions League football, he's gonna probably win the Serie A once again, together with them. So I'm actually happy for him. I'm
Well,
actually
the thing
genuinely
is,
happy.
I know people say Inter Milan haven't, like, not Inter Milan, but Italian clubs haven't got money. But the one club that probably does have money is Inter Milan, right? On the back of their
Yeah,
these
the,
seasons, you know what I
the,
mean?
the,
Yeah.
the, the thing is, I don't like when people say Italian clubs don't have money. Italian clubs are just stingy. That's the thing. Italian,
Mm.
like, if you know football, you know Italian league has never really been spending big money apart from back in the days, right? Like I'm talking about early 2000s, late 90s. I'm talking about that era, right? When you had Zlatan Ibrahimovic over there, you had Adriano, like you had good attacking players that was playing in that league. Even Ronaldinho, you can take up to 2008, 9. Yeah, sure, they were spending money, but after that, they slowly, just started to get a little bit greedy because now they focus more on, developing in Italy, which I do respect, but they do have money. Like AC Milan just
Yeah.
spent fucking 75 million on Gonzalo Ramos, and he's not even that good,
Yeah.
respectfully. So no, they do have money. It's just that
I
to
mean, he
negotiate with
scored the
them is a
winning goal
pain in the
yesterday for
ass.
Portugal, didn't he? What a header that was, to be fair to
Yeah,
him. Jesus
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Christ.
Yeah. So fair to him, but it's just that they're very stingy. They do have money, but it's just a pain in the ass to negotiate with them.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I think Chalobah's gone. I think from a selling standpoint, we need to make fun. We need to raise funds. I don't think we're in a position where we can just buy players without selling players. Obviously, we have a load of players on the books anyway, but I think it's
Yeah.
about selling the right players to make the profits. And the likes of, Trevor Chalobah, maybe Enzo, if we can find someone for that 100+ mil, the likes of selling Gusto, if that happens, for maybe like 50, 60 mil. All these players that we can make some good money or make sense, because we want to buy players to improve the squad that Xabi Alonso is going to be taking on next season. And I think that's very, very important. So Chalobah going out the door, I see that happening. I think if we can get rid of Garnacho for like 35 mil as well to Roma or somewhere in Italy, that would be amazing as well. I think we need to do that. It's just about having the interest, Benji, isn't it? That's the thing for me. It's like you've got these players and Chelsea want to sell them for X amount, but this is on the back of like not having really good
Yeah.
seasons. You know what I mean? So from a market standpoint, it's very hard to determine X amount of money when you look at the season they've had and how poor they've also been in that season, so it makes it very hard for us to justify it,
For
but
sure.
I see Chalobah going. I do see him going eventually, and he seems happy to go Italy as well. It
Thank
also
you.
goes on to say here on the Inter, no, not Inter. I've got the wrong one. Oh, right. Anyway, but it says Chalobah's agents are in Milan. Talks are undergoing. Over personal terms, Como have been in the race for weeks, but Inter are on it as well. As was revealed in June, Chalobah wants to play in Italy, so I think that is a given for me with Trevor Chalobah. I just wanted to quickly talk about Xhaka as well, because there was a little bit of an update on him saying that Sunderland is requesting £25 million for Granit Xhaka. That was from this guy. I don't know. I mean, people have been saying this guy's pretty legit. I know he's been coming out. Luca
He is.
Chalobah. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Whoever.
is. He's an Italian journalist or ITK or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
He's been very early when it comes to certain news. He don't really. He's not the ITK that's gonna tweet multiple times about a player. He just tweeted once and then he's just gonna leave it.
Mm.
And he has the receipts for it. So I believe him. So far so good until he's wrong, of course. But Jem, seriously, if this is the case that you have to pay 25 million, now you really have to think about the team, what the manager wants, or you have to think about, do we really want to get bullied and overpay for someone, and now we're gonna get bullied in the market? So it's a two-side game, right? And if Chelsea decides to not pay this, I wouldn't really blame him. Like seriously, I actually wouldn't blame him because if you pay that money, Jim, I can tell you, guarantee right now, you're overpaying this whole summer. Negotiating is going to be a pain in the ass. If you don't decide to pay it, then you have to go and get someone else now. You know what I'm saying? With similar qualities that got, experience
This,
or maybe the
yeah.
talent, right? So it's a two-sided coin.
This for me stinks of the Mike Maignan side scenario of a case of it's over in
Mm,
terms of like Chelsea's policy for Xhaka's age. It's over the whole means of actually wanting to bring him for X amount of money. This is the problem we have with the Xhaka deal.
mhm,
He's pushing it, which I think is important if we're going to get to where we want to pay. They won't sell for less than 20 mil. I don't think Chelsea are going to do that. But then it goes against the whole backing the manager, back Xabi Alonso. And I am all for backing Xabi Alonso. I think it's important that we back him. But to what degree are they? To what level are they going to back him up to? Are they going to say? Are they going to go against their own policy and spend £25 million on a 34-year-old to just to satisfy the manager because that's what the manager wants? In hindsight, the answer to that should be yes. But if you're talking about company policy and how they like to manage and run and do things, they probably won't end up doing it, and we'll be sitting there saying, you know, typical board. They haven't changed. They haven't listened to the
mhm.
manager. The manager wanted him. They've not bothered getting him in. Do you get what I mean? So it's one of them for me. It's like
Yeah,
stuck in a heart. Yes, Pels, what you saying? Good to see you, darling. Hope you're well, man.
big up
Long
Pels.
time.
Big up Pels.
Mike will help a lot. Mike will help a lot. What having Mike Magnan? Yeah, we will.
Yeah, Mike Manuel.
We're about to find out if Xavi's got balls. Yeah. I mean, what is your cap on it? Do you think there is a cap? Would you say, look, you're happy with them not spending over X amount? Should we say? What is that figure for
Well,
you?
I'm actually gonna go this way. For his age, he still looks in very good form. Like even though he's 33, he's pretty much looks like he's 28 by the time just by his playing. He's still got the engine running at that age. So you have to factorize that and take into consideration that this guy is very much taking care of his body, right? And
Mm,
that's a massive positive for me. So, in my opinion, if you can get 2 years out of someone that brings leadership qualities, right, in a very very young team, immature team, and this is the thing again, Jim. If you want this team to evolve and develop and go in the right direction, we have to
mm,
make some type of step, some type of sacrifice. We have to do. You either have to bring in a big name with maturity, for example, not the biggest name, but he's a big name. Mike Mignon, for example, or for example, Xhaka, you will have to pay a little bit extra. Yes, maybe it's not ideal because they are in the early 30s, and we all know football players usually tend to, fall off between the 30 and 33. Now, Xhaka is still very much, playing to a very high level, very high standard. I think if you can bring him in for rotation, right, he can start a couple of games, be on the bench, a couple of games, be a personal, not personal coach, player coach, excuse me, and like coach the likes of the Lavias about the fitness and different of stuff. Teach the Andre Santos how to play deeper and arrive in the box, maybe late shooting. It's better for everyone. So in my opinion, if Javi really wants him, then go and get him now for a reasonable price. I don't think 25 million is absolutely crazy money, especially in this inflated market. 25 million now is like 15 million back in the day. So you have to take that into consideration too. But I would say around 20 million should be fair. 20 plus 5 should be the absolute maximum you pay, in my opinion. And then you have to see if Enzo gets sold or not. Because you gotta loan a couple of midfielders because we got too many and not everyone is gonna play. And then you have to think about the squad balance, right? What you need in your midfield, what Xavi needs in his midfield. So we have too many deep line playmakers, for example. Some of them gotta go, and et cetera, et cetera.
There's a real tug of war between Xabi Alonso and the club for Granit Xhaka. The coach, in fact, considers him necessary for the project and insists on the purchase. They are deciding whether or not to satisfy the new coach. Obviously, Simon Phillips has commented on the back of that, basically saying, let's have a quick look. He says, this is true. Alonso's pushing this and Chelsea accepted to go for Xhaka reluctantly, but even still went in with a low 8 million offer and aren't keen to pay too much more. Alonso really wants to play. So this is where I kind of see what Simon Phillips is saying, because the fact that we did put a bid in, but the initial first bid that we put in and how much we actually put forward just shows me that they're not willing to spend that much money on the idea. They've already kind of like shown their cards, right? They've got in at 8 million because he wanted him, and they've tried to get it. Obviously, it's been turned away. They're now saying they want over 20 mil. Chelsea are probably now saying to him, why don't we meet in the middle, 15 mil, 16 mil? And they're probably saying no. And without a real push from Xhaka, which he is doing, as we already know, I don't really know how he gets sold. Sunderland are really reluctant to sell him as well. That's the other thing. They don't want to lose Xhaka as well. So I think this still's harder than people think it is. Maybe Xhaka puts in a transfer request and really like pushes it, and then at the end we kind of get it done later on. But it's going to be very interesting to see and telling to see what happens. I mean, there's over 100 people on X, guys. Good to see you over there. Big up to every single one of you as well. If you're over on X, you want to come over on YouTube, Kings of the Bridge TV, come over on YouTube, subscribe please, because we're on our road to 10k, and come and say hello in the chat as well. I am keeping an eye on the chat in the in over there as well. I can see you all as well. I'm not seeing this much going on in terms of the chat, but yeah, look, we're still new to all this. We're all trying to put our minds together with it. So we've got over 200 plus people combined, Benji, which is always good to see. Big up, everyone.
Can I just say something before you move on? If that's all right. One thing that I think we haven't really talked about too much, I think we've mentioned it before, but I think the fact that Sunderland got Europa League is making this still so much harder because they have Europe, and Xhaka for them is going to be crucial in terms of having European experience and leading that team into that competition, right? Because they could be successful. I can definitely see Sunderland go into, the latter rounds, if I say that. Maybe not the top 8, but I do believe they can at least make the playoffs and maybe go into the last 16, so maybe even the last 8. So I think if they didn't have Europe, this still would have been a little bit easier because, now they're just fighting for mid-table. But the fact that they're fighting for Europe and trying to stay in Europe, I think that's their goal. Yeah, it makes the deal a little bit harder.
And Xhaka's experienced. He's going to go into it. He's played a lot of football in European football. Do you know what I mean? So I get why they're so reluctant to lose Xhaka. And this is why I don't think it's going to be an easy deal than people think. He might be forcing it, but Chelsea are not going to pay 20, 25 mil. I'd be shocked if they did. And Sunderland are probably not going to come down below 20 mil because they value him as a very important player. So you now have just two balls colliding with each other, just bouncing off. Like, that's what it literally is. It's been proven time and time again that Bluco fumble negotiations when they are not interested in a player. This is a tussle for the future of signings at our club, is what Terry says as well.
Good point.
Yeah,
Good
I
point.
mean, if you look at history, it's hard to deny. Why aren't we going for a goalkeeper? I just think we've got too many other areas, Sean, that we need to sort out that are important, maybe more important. And you got to bear in mind, we're not in a position really from a revenue standpoint to just go out and just buy like we've seen in the past. We're trying to sell players to make money, the funds to be able to potentially make the purchases that we need before obviously the first game week which is I believe the last week of August, the 23rd or the 24th. But there's a pre-season coming next week, and if I'm Xabi Alonso, I want all my players in as soon as possible. From now to the end of July, I would be, if I was Xabi Alonso, I'll be going whoever we're going to get, whatever business we're going to do, let's get it done before August, and then I've got 3 weeks of them in August, having them all together with me. Even the ones that have had a rest and been away because of the World Cup are all going to be back at the first week of August. I bring everyone together. This is our team. I work with them in training. We play a couple pre-season friendlies, and then we're ready for the beginning of the season. That's the way I would structure it. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like giving them, not them thinking they've got all the time in the world, like the board has shown us in the past. Go and get the players we need to get done in this July period. The World Cup's going to finish soon, the 17th or 18th. They've still got 2 weeks after that. So they've got no excuse not to just get it done. Do you know what I mean? Jim, only 190 subs from 9K. Big up, Cookie. Yeah, we're nearly on a road to 9,000, man. There's over 130 people here. Good to see you guys. 100 people on Twitter as well. Guys, do me one favor though, please. We've not got enough likes today. We're literally so low on likes. Can we, if everyone hits the likes in here on YouTube, we are over 100 likes, man, and we've been doing that the last couple of shows. So please make sure you run the likes up as well. Please see how quick they spent the funds on the young right wing back who's only 21. But again, it shows the same sort of profile project idea. Getting someone young, someone that's got potential. Yes, it ticks all the boxes. But I'll be honest with you, a lot of people were interested in Palestra, weren't they? As a fan base, like people wanted Palestra. This is a player that people are not too mad about. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Smash the likes, please do. I always like the stream. Always big up Joey, man. Thank you,
Joey.
bro. What else was I going to look at today? There was something else I was going to look at as well. Was it the centre backs? I saw some news. Is it Pep? It might be the Pep news. Yeah, there we go. And this is not going to be a shock because it feels like every other bit of news we've got up to this point now. Pep Chevalier. There are still no breakthroughs in talks between Chelsea and Rayo Vallecano. And this is another one that really confuses me, Benji. 28 years old, 20 million euros, which is like, 15, 16 million. Why? What's the hold up? Why is something like this taking so long when you've just signed a wing back that's like, how much did we spend on Palestra? I don't even remember. Was it like 45 mil? Yeah. So again, what are we doing here? Well, if Xabi Alonso wants this player and he's identified him against all of our knowledges that he could have chose, this is the guy he wants. Why is this such a hold up?
I don't know if it's true, but I did some research, and allegedly he does have a 50 million release clause in euros, though. Now I don't know if Vallecano is trying to push Chelsea to trigger it just to get him. Now the market value for this guy is around the 2025, up to 30 max in terms, like Vallecano isn't really the biggest club in Spain. They did get Europe. I think they got Europa League. They're gonna play next year or Conference League again. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure that's the case. Why it's taking so long. Now I do think we're gonna get him at the end of the day, unless we look at some other left wing back. That's gonna be a little bit more attacking. But the fact that the news came out now that we see Hato as a starting left back for us, and whoever we bring in is gonna be the backup to him. I don't know if that's gonna be a problem with Chavaria. Maybe he wanted to be a starter, which he shouldn't, in my opinion. But maybe that was the case. So, the ball could be thrown in so many directions, James. Like we have no idea what's going on behind the scenes, personally. But I do believe we are going to strike a deal within the next 2 weeks. I do believe so.
worrying. I mean, we've got all these deals bouncing and hovering around, and not really much sort of guidance as to what we're going to do. If there's one thing I will say, and we'll do it, we'll go on to what will be the last sort of topic of today as well. Until obviously we get a bit of is this Lacroix thing, because what is the last news of Lacroix? I see what's his name, the other side of the coin, talking about it as well.
Miss,
He seems to think we're not going to get him, but it was something else. I can't even find it now. This was just June the 29th, a couple literally where are we now? Like a week ago, right? Like Chelsea didn't submit a bid for the Lacroix. It's given me a bit of a PTSD based on what we've seen over the last 3-4 years of this club. Is that, Fabrizio Romano would banging on about how Chelsea are close, Chelsea are pushing him. Do you remember that night where Lacroix was like, for 3-4 hours, Chelsea want him, Chelsea are pushing him, he's the main target, Chelsea, Lacroix. And then it just went quiet. And it really reminds me of the Xavi Simons scenario, if you remember, where it was Xavi Simons and Chelsea very close, personal terms not an issue, deal looking to be struck, blah, 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 blah. And we was getting thrown in our faces that it's going to happen. And then it just went really quiet for a month after.
Yeah.
The Lacroix thing is starting to worry me a bit, slightly, because I'm getting that feeling again, mate, that we are about to fuck things up again.
And I don't blame you. I actually don't blame you. Me personally, Jem, I haven't really reacted too much, and you're not actually gonna see me react to any type of news because I just don't care. I just don't care anymore. Like I said, this is if you can't even learn from your mistakes with this manager, you're never gonna learn. Like you will never learn. If you have gone on to say to the public, this guy that we have as we have appointed as a manager, he's our manager. He's not a head coach anymore, so he's gonna have more say on decisions, right? The manager clearly wants this type of center back. He wants, I'm pretty sure this is just how football works. At least a center back that can cover up the tracks where the other center back is lacking. So you have some type of stability and balance. Now, where I think they're struggling is, I think the fee is fixed. I just think that Palace wants something in return if they're gonna sell Lacroix for a lower price.
Yeah, they might be trying to replace him, right? That's another
exactly.
Story.
And they are looking at that Toulouse youngin, that centre back from Toulouse.
Yeah, but he's going to Rennes, isn't it? I saw today. They were
exactly, and that's the new thing. And if you remember, I think I don't know who it was, but I'm pretty sure someone said Palace will sell Lacroix, but after they've signed a centre back. Now, this is just conspiracy. This could literally be that they want Josh Achampong, and they're pretty much just gonna say, listen, we will give you Lacroix for 50 if you give us just for 30, and you will have a buyback for maybe 55, 60, let's just say, right? Yeah, a decent amount of profit that they can make, and not absolutely ludicrous type of fee that we can buy them back for. I think that could be the case. It could literally be that Palace wants more money in terms of the inflated market. Maybe Chelsea saw 50 million should be enough, and then with the Elliot Andersons and the rest of the guys going for 100 million plus, maybe now they want 60 just because of he was the key defender in that defense. He's the leader of that defense. I'm pretty sure he's the captain of that team as well. That could also be the case. So it's a lot of conspiracies when it comes to Lacroix going to Chelsea. Now, do I believe it's going to get done? I hope so, because I don't see any other center back that's going to be a very good guaranteed hit in this Premier League that can just walk into this team and deliver at least
consistently. What about who would you give them though? Who, I know you wouldn't care who, but Disasi's obviously got interest. Chalobah's going to Italy. Fofana's not going nowhere. Josh, you could give, but would probably want some sort of buyback or some sort of agreement. So what would you do? What would you do? Who would you give him?
Now, when people say, "Oh, who," like when you've asked me who would you want to give, I'm just thinking about who would Palace want to take. This is the main topic. I think. I don't think Palace is taking Disasi personally. Who's Palace new coach, by the way? Do they have a new head coach?
They do, didn't they?
Well,
I don't even
okay.
remember.
So if they don't have a new head coach, they're not taking Disasi because they have no idea if they're gonna play a high line, mid block, low block, if they're gonna pass off from the back. Like, if they need ball carrying defenders, if they need box dominant defenders, they don't really know yet. So until then, Pure Sage. No way it's Pure Sage. Is it?
Is it PSH? I don't know.
Really?
Is that bad?
Wow. Okay. If that's the case, it's gonna be Josh. He's not taking Disasi. I can guarantee you that. He's not taking Disasi. It's gonna be if it's Pierre Sage, then I think I would give him Josh and just do a buyback, not buyback, uh, buyback close.
I don't know. What about the whole Nottingham Forest Glasner thing as well? That was crazy for me.
Yeah, but okay. Think about it from this way, Jim. Glasgow went to Forest. We all know Forest owner. He really wants to succeed. I don't think it's going to be cheap. And the fact that they sold Ellie Anderson now for 116, they are going to fix that squad, in areas. And we all know Forest are not gonna buy from the Premier League. They're probably gonna buy from Italy. They're gonna buy from France, maybe from the lower mid-table teams from Spain, and just bring them into the Premier League. We all saw what happened when Forest got promoted into the Premier League. How many players they bought. So why I think he went to Nottingham Forest is because he's gonna get some type of backing in terms of how he wants to play, and how the philosophy pretty much fits in. He has some players that are fitting his style of football, and I do believe they will get some good players. Especially I think they're gonna go a little bit more young, between the 21s, 22, 23s, and just keep on going, because Glasner is he wants to press, he wants to play high intensity type of football, and I think Forest is a good move for him. Now, I recommended that he should have gone overseas. I mean, abroad, maybe to like a AC Milan. I think that would have been a perfect fit. But now we know Ruben Amorim, he went over there instead. So I wish Glasner all the luck. Hopefully they don't get relegated, because that would be kind of sad for him, because I do believe he's a very, very good coach, personally. And yeah, you just gotta wish him all the best, and that he gets the backing that he actually needs.
I'm just shocked that he went to Nottingham Forest out of everyone. I mean, again, look, it's a good appointment for them, because he's a coach that wants to win, right? He's a winning coach,
Yeah.
So it's just, for me, I don't know what's shocking me more. I don't know. I just didn't think he would end up there. That's probably the words I should use.
Well, what club what clubs were available? Because has Marco Silva gone to Benfica yet? Because I thought he was going to Fulham
Yeah, he's
personally.
gone. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, I thought Fulham was about to pick him up personally. I thought he was going to Fulham. I was not ready to see Nottingham Forest. I was very surprised, but maybe it's more money. I don't know. You never know. But yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, mate. It's interesting. Chelsea signed random midfielders like Matthias Amuga for 50 mil, but want to fight with Xabi Alonso over signing Xhaka. Get your questions in, guys. That's what we'll do now. We'll do a QA before we finish off. Anyone's got any questions that you want us to answer, want us to get our opinions on, we'll do a quick QA. It's over 100 of you still here. There's over 100 of you on Twitter. If you guys want to come over from Twitter onto here and share your thoughts as well, come over on here, Kings of the Bridge TV on YouTube, and put your comments in the chat. Let's do a little QA for the last 10 minutes with you guys. Chelsea, Simon, yeah. So I hear that, but again, DJ Sav, I think it's just their policy. Their policy is anyone over a certain age, they're not going to spend a lot of money on. They look at it from a business standpoint as much as they do as a, ability standpoint and development standpoint. They look at how they can sell the player on the back of it, right? As well. The reason I don't like buying players at a higher age is it's pointless, because once they finish with Chelsea, they're going to go for free to MLS or maybe Saudi. I don't know. Like, do you know what I mean? They're not really going to make much more money on them. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's more of like policy around how they just don't like having players over a certain age because they're trying to think of revenue to a degree.
The resale value. Yeah.
If we weren't in the sell to buy situation, would you get a goalkeeper?
Yes.
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 And I saw him again yesterday. I watched him again yesterday, and he was making some mad saves in moments against Croatia. Jesus Christ. Diogo Costa.
Listen.
I don't know what it is about Diogo Costa, but it's just I just think he's like perfect. Do you know what I mean? Perfect for the Premier League. He's just a solid goalkeeper, isn't he?
He's an elite shot stopper, brilliant with his feet. Like you saw yesterday the performance that he put on. Like this guy, apart from, well, in my opinion, he's top 3 goalkeepers in the world. And seriously, this guy is absolutely crazy. For Portugal, always steps up. Always steps up. It's just very unfortunate that he has a shit backline in front of him, but he saves Portugal week in, week out. Even when it comes to friendlies, even when it comes to the European qualifiers, now in the World Cup, he's been phenomenal so far. So props to him. He would be my first choice. But you even have more. Like you have, if you really want to go with the free, you have Sommer. I know he's 40, but he's still at that age where he's pretty much fine wine. He's still at it for 1 or 2 seasons. I think you can get something out of him just by his experience. You have Kobel from Switzerland, very good goalkeeper. Now shit with his feet, but very good shot stopper. You have Mignon, yeah, you have Mignon, and I think DJ Sav had a question for you, Jim.
DJ Sav, Diogo Costa. What, this one? Yeah, Diogo Costa and Mike Mignon. Diogo Costa all day. Diogo Costa for me. Not even a debate. No, it's not. No, Benji, I wouldn't even be thinking about it.
No. I'm not debating. But elaborate a little bit because a lot of people. Yeah, go ahead.
Very simple. How old is Diogo Costa now? I actually don't know.
Diogo Costa is 26, turning 27, or 27, turning 28.
Like in terms of goalkeepers, he's going into his prime, right? Like I would say, like goalkeepers is a little bit later, right? I don't think Mike Maignan is a bad goalkeeper. However, I think Diogo Costa is a level above him based on his shot stopping. Personally, I think when you watch Mike Maignan, there's certain parts of his game where I'm like, how did he not save that? Like even in the World Cup, there was one. I can't remember who it was against, where the ball just like it went in the corner and it was just too easy. And I was like, I think it was against Norway. No, was it Norway they played? I think. No,
maybe it was.
It was where they hit it from outside the box and it just went straight into the bottom corner. And I was like, why is he not even like getting to that? Like he just so for me, it's like I think Mike Maignan good with the ball, but so is Diogo Costa. I think Diogo Costa physically is better. I think he's better. He's more equipped physically in the Premier League than what Mike Maignan is. I think he's a better shot stopper than Mike Maignan as well. I just think his all-round game's better, to be honest with you, Benji. Like just overall. If he was to,
I don't disagree with you. Yeah. Listen, I don't disagree with you. If you're asking me who would you pick, I couldn't give 2 fucks about Mike Penders. Listen, I'm focusing on the now. If Mike Penders really is that high of a goalkeeper that we actually believe that he is, then he will slowly develop into that player for sure. But for now, we need someone that can handle the pressure of being the number 1, that can save us, right? Because I always say, with a good goalkeeper in goal, you save at least between 3 to 5 points a season. And 3 to 5 points, Jem, that's a lot of points. Because 3 to 5, especially where we are right now, that could be either, this season it was Conference League, or you get Champions League, especially where we were. So you have to think about that too. But I 100% agree with you. I just wanted to ask, just based on.
What about this guy, Mike Chevalier, another excellent goalkeeper who we're linked with as well?
Milisviller, I like him. I really, really do like him. Good age, less good with his feet though. In terms of I don't really think he's gonna play out from the back. But when it comes to shot stopping, Gem. This guy is something else. Yeah, he's something else. He's him. He's him.
Costa wanted to move to Chelsea when we were first interested during the Abramovich era. That's so annoying, isn't it?
He did.
Even more. That would have been our goal.
Release clause. It's that release clause. Marina didn't want to trigger because we triggered Kepa's.
50 million euros, isn't it? It still is now, I think. 50 million euros.
It's 65 million euros, so 52 million
Yeah.
pounds.
Does he want to leave next season? I mean, he probably got his Penders, really, but I don't think Penders is ready yet. I think he needs another 1 or maybe 1/2 seasons. So you could, but I think if you're getting someone like Costa, you have to do it now. I don't think you wait for another season, another season, and end it. You know what I mean?
You
Like
can't.
my first 2 years, I think he's just solid, mate. I do. If we're talking, if we're serious, if we're like we're going to go for it next year. We're going to try and get ourselves up there. You would start with getting him in the goal, personally. Do you know what I mean? Someone that's just good, and that, in my opinion. Then Sarri demanded Kepa. Oh God, Denny, don't even.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw
me.
Kepa for in Spain, I thought, yeah, this guy is crazy. Once he came to Chelsea, he had bro, Jem, do you remember how he started at Chelsea? I thought, wow, this guy is good. The reflexes and the saves, and yeah, then the day
We're
became
not
night.
signing no Congo. Don't start Benji off, man. We're not signing any players from.
Just sign back. Listen. As a number 2, Jem, as a number 2.
No.
As a number 2.
Hell no.
As a number 2.
No, I don't want to hear it. I can't lie, but we should be
Number
competing
2.
for the league by now. I know. Well, that's another day for another story. But do you know what, guys? I think we're going to finish it off there because I've got to get on with a bit of work as well. We've done an hour and 20 minutes today. Over 200 people on both platforms again. Welcome and big up to everyone that was here as well. We appreciate your support. Get any news later, like big news, we'll be back, guys. We're kind of just brewing around, waiting for the Here We Goes now. So make sure you've got your notifications on here because when it does happen, the boys will be here. We'll be going into the deeps of the Here We Goes, talking about the players that we may sign, players that even may be sold as well, and the likes of Chalobah could be the next sort of thing that happens. So keep an eye out, guys, on both Twitter and on YouTube. Make sure you smash the likes before you leave. Leave a comment below as well. Benji, big up to you for being here as well. And we'll be back again, man. We're always back. We're back thick and fast, Enzo Fernandez masterclass tonight. 2-3 assists.
Oh yeah, they're playing. Who are they playing against?
Cabo Verde.
Oh yeah. So it's that game, but it should be another game today too. What's the other
game? Egypt and someone.
Egypt, Australia, right?
Australia,
and then you have Colombia, Ghana. So it's 3 games basically.
I'm down with Colombia, Egypt, Argentina. There's my 3.
Yeah, I agree. Now, when it comes to score prediction, I'm going 3-1 Colombia. I'm going 3-0 Argentina, and I'm going 2-1 Egypt.
I'm going 3-0 Argentina. I'm going 2-0 Egypt, and I'm going 2-0 Colombia for this one.
There you have it, guys.
There we go, guys. See you in a bit. Keep your eyes out. Chelsea are always doing something in the news. We'll be back soon. See you in a bit. Peace.